everyone, welcome to episode 11. In today's episode, this is actually a very exciting and different topic to what we've done in the past, and it's all about love languages. But before we actually get into that, let's go through, let's have a bit of an update on what's happening in our lives. So Kelly, anything interesting in the past week?
When did we record last week? I think it was before my assignment was due, right? I had that little rant, and I would just like to say, so this assignment, we went into the tute, and it's like 3 parts. So the first part was due. We went into the tute, and that's when our tutor wanted to like kind of check in on us, see how we were going, go through some little things, and so one of the questions he asked us was the workload even? Like, did everyone do equal amounts of work and like put in equal amounts of work into the final product that we handed in as well? And we all said yes, but he was staring at us like,
so he knew?
So he was like watching each of our faces to see, because like he knows that when groups don't cooperate well, they're not that likely to kind of just straight up say, someone didn't do that much work, because it's really awkward to do that. So he was just watching our faces, and I think he could tell, because like,
yeah, of course,
4 of us were smiling awkwardly, and he could just tell from when we were explaining the work as well that we did.
That's actually a really good way to check. I think that's kind of really smart, because you're just basing it off from, what am I trying to say? You find out your answer not from the words, but from the non-verbal cues. I think that's really smart. Yeah. So how did it end up then?
We're getting the actual, he's going through and marking it over the weekend. We get our actual feedback next week. But I don't know what he's going to do about the unequal contribution. But honestly, like, the second part has been released. It's due in week 8. It's the end of week 4 right now. So, like, hopefully it goes well.
Hopefully, yeah.
And I think we made a mistake by assigning, like, the simplest but also the most crucial part to that person. So we're just going to assign something that's less, that everyone depends on less, so that even if that's not done, it doesn't hold everyone back as much.
Yeah, for my management assignment last year, it was kind of like a first in, first choice thing. So I chose the easiest part just because I was there first. And then I regretted it, because the hard part was given to the people who weren't... Competent is a really harsh word to use.
They just weren't as cooperative, yeah?
No, but it wasn't kind of, I guess. And I think that really screwed us over, because at the end of it, I was just not bothered anymore. I was like, okay, this is the maximum level of effort that they're putting in. I can't really change anything about it. I didn't really want to change it either, because I felt like that was rude.
Yeah.
If I was to just change that part. So then we handed it in.
Oh yeah, that's like the hardest part, is like, you see that it's wrong, but at the same time, you don't want to like invalidate their work, because they're still part of the group. And if you just remove all of this stuff, because I had another group assignment where there were 2 other girls in my group, and they wrote stuff that like, their points were what we wanted to say in general. Like, we all agreed on what to write about. It was a matter of wording. So I just like suggested edits in the whole thing, and they just approved it. But this time, when we had to kind of remove parts of one person's code, like, we were like trying to put it off. I think I mentioned this in the last episode, but like, it was just, it felt like we were removing them from the group in a sense.
No,
when
I
we're
get that,
removing
yeah.
their work.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. But let's move on now from this. And I think you prepared a question that you wanted to ask.
Oh, yes. How do you like to be comforted when you're sad or upset?
Oh, that's a good question.
I told you I had a good question. Because honestly, I don't know the answer for myself.
Okay, where did you find this from?
The internet.
Okay. Vague answer.
I'm not going to expose my sources.
Sure, okay. I think talking to people really helps. Especially like calling them and hearing someone just not necessarily fix my problems for me, but just listen to them and validate my feelings. Because I think a lot of times I don't do that enough for myself. And a lot of times I'm like, no, I shouldn't be feeling this, and I have no right to be feeling this. And just hearing someone else say, no, it's okay to feel like this, I think that helps. Something that also really helps is when people show effort and go out of their way to help me. I think that's
like they show that they care about what's happening to you and your emotions as well.
Yeah. Like for example, there was one time it was 2 years ago, and I was going through a really sad time, and my friend Jamie said, hey, do you want to come over? We can just do a chill day. We can watch movies and hopefully it will just get your mind off things. And it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a big day in terms of what we did, but it was just the fact that she offered, and it was the pure intentions behind it that really helped. Yeah. What about you though?
Well, like, as a child I cried a lot, but that's just like me and my issues. So I think the last time I was really, really sad was like middle of year 12. And I just realized at that time the support system that I had. Like, I could really just turn to anyone that I was friends with and just talk to them, talk it out. Even though like a lot of them I probably don't talk to as much now or at all now. It was just like a matter of I had them there to watch out for me. So I could just be sad alone, and then they were just looking after me, like everything around me, in a sense. So they let me be sad, let me like get over it myself, but at the same time, they were kind of like letting me focus on making myself less sad, and kind of just taking everything else into their hands and just helping me, I guess.
No, I think that's really cute though, and really caring. And a lot of it is to do with them not doing something that shows that they are caring. It's really special.
Yeah. Because it landed on a day where I had chemistry depth study, and we had to do a lot of work on that day, and it was a lot of like new content, things that I didn't know and I wasn't as familiar with. So like I was also just not kind of up to do anything that day because the things just happened the night before, and my friend just let me copy off her the entire day and not have to do much, because that day was a marked part of the assessment, and like the work that you completed that day did matter, although you could change it. It was just a way to make sure that you weren't last minuting everything and you actually did work like slowly. So I was really glad that my friend let me like use her work and also help me do my own work as well. And that kind of showed me like I do have this like support network that will care about me if something goes wrong.
Yeah, and I think having a good support system is so crucial. And I have a problem where I don't go to people a lot when I am feeling really sad. I think I do tell people. Like, I tell people, oh, I'm not really feeling too good right now, but I don't really go into the extent, and I don't really ask them for help. But just knowing that they're there is sometimes just good enough. Yeah.
I think explicitly asking for help is very hard.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
it's easier to just tell them, like, part of what happened, but not really easy to just straight up ask for help, in a sense.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people feel like this too, where they're always willing to help, but when it comes to them needing help, it's really hard to ask for it because they don't want to feel like it's a burden on other people.
Yeah,
and I
feel like most people are like that as well.
And I definitely feel like that sometimes. And I don't want to seem like I'm dumping my emotions on people. And it makes it worse that other people have said that to me. Like, I am dumping my emotions. And I think it was like a one-time thing that they said. Like, it wasn't ever mentioned again. But it just kind of stuck around. So, it makes it hard. But either way, I know for sure that if I was to actually ask friends for help, I know that they'd be there. Anyway, speaking about friends and love and all that, let's actually get into today's topic, which is all about the love languages.
Are we finally having an episode where we actually start the topic in the first half of the episode?
Yeah. last episode, didn't we spend like 30 minutes just on the introduction part?
Yeah. I looked at the time while we were recording and I was like, wait, 30 minutes has already passed. We haven't even gotten into what we wanted to talk about at all.
Yeah. But love languages are something that is commonly brought up in conversations. And if you haven't heard about it, it's developed by a doctor. And he wrote a book called The 5 Love Languages. And he basically said that every person has a different love language, or a person's way of giving and receiving love. And these 5 things are words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, physical touch, and giving/receiving gifts. So what we're going to do is take the quiz together during this episode.
We have to specify it's the singles quiz because we're at the end of our teens and we're not children, and I'm pretty sure both of us don't have significant others. If we do, then Flora, what have you been hiding from me?
I do have you know what, Kelly? I have asked you many times to marry me and date me, and you have always rejected me. So is it my fault? I'm just joking.
Okay. So we're doing the singles quiz just to clarify.
And we're taking it from 5lovelanguages.com.
Yeah, let's get started. So Flora, what is your gender?
Wait a second, I'm not in it yet.
The first question is your gender. So what is your gender, Flora?
I am female.
Okay, what is your age, Flora?
I'm 18. Oh, you know what we should do? We should take it for each other.
That would be, I don't know. I don't think I could answer every question for you, though.
No, as in like we ask each other, like what you're doing.
So, Flora, is my age 19?
Okay, so both of us would be in the female. Both of us would press the 18 to 24 category. And then country, we both live in Australia.
Yep. And I haven't read the 5 Love Languages Singles Edition.
No, we haven't. Okay, Kelly. The first question asks, it's more meaningful to you when someone you love sends a message with no special reason, or is it more meaningful when someone you love hugs you?
I think for me, it's a hug.
Okay, that's different. I would go for the message one.
Because I just don't feel like I've gotten cute messages before, but like I just don't feel like it had as much of an impact as a hug.
Wait, so have you received them before? Like random messages? I've sent them to you before.
Yes. And they had no impact. Hence my rejection. I think we need to clarify that we're joking in case anyone...
Well, no, I actually have asked her, but it was a joke, yes.
Okay, so is it more meaningful to you when you spend alone time with someone you love, or someone you love does something practical to help you out?
I think I would go for the spending time alone with someone I love. What about you?
I'd say the practical, because I think spending alone time, I think that's more of a given than... I think it's just more special, like...
Oh, I get what you mean,
doing something practical.
I guess it's because when you do love someone, you do spend a lot of time with them alone, so after a while it's kind of like, this is just normal. Whereas them doing something to help you out might not be something that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'd switch my answer to someone I love does something practical for me. Okay, next question. Is it more meaningful to you when someone you love gets you a little gift of token? Or is it more meaningful to you when you get uninterrupted leisure time with that person?
I mean, like, do you mean like just a one-off gift that you keep forever, or is it like...
Yeah.
Just something random?
What do you mean?
I don't know what I mean. I don't even know how to choose between these two.
I would choose gift.
But the uninterrupted is the bigger part for me, I think. Like, the last one, it was just spending time, but uninterrupted.
I feel like they're the same.
I just don't read them as being the same, you know? Like, because uninterrupted kind of means, like, just having downtime.
Yeah.
Which I don't have much of. So I don't know.
Okay, I know I'm taking the singles quiz, but I am picturing myself... Every time I answer this, I'm picturing myself in a relationship, kind of.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
No, I'm not picturing myself with you. Don't worry, Flora.
I was picturing myself with you. Excuse me.
This one's a hard one.
I'm gonna go gift.
I'm gonna go uninterrupted time.
Okay, we're 10% of the way through. So is it more meaningful to you when someone you love does something unexpected to help you out, or shares an innocent touch with you?
I think it's gonna be the help you out, because same with the... I think it was it the first question? Same kind of logic to me, at least.
Yeah, a lot of these are similar. I would also go with same one as you. And I think I've noticed, I don't know if this is a thing, but I get so... Like the physical touching part, I don't think it really matters too much to me. And I think that might just be because I'm single right now. And I'm pretending I'm in a relationship when I'm answering this. But just comparing things that have happened in the past, like not really dirty sexual things, but just touching, I guess. It's not like, oh my god, wow. Yeah, it's not meaningful. Well, no. It's not as meaningful as the other option.
Like people going out of their way to do things so you isn't as meaningful as physical touch.
No, opposite.
Right. Oh yeah. Is more meaningful than physical touch.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, next question. It's more meaningful to you when someone you love puts their arm around you in public or someone you love surprises you with a gift?
Okay.
I think I'm going to choose the first one.
Okay, so... Yeah, sorry.
I personally don't think giving gifts is a big thing because, like, I have this logic that if I want something, I'll buy it for myself.
But it's not about the gift.
Like, when I think... Like, no, it's like... I think gift... I don't think that's something that should be expected or, like, put... Like, you shouldn't put too much meaning into it because it's, like... In a sense, not everyone has the same ability to buy gifts. Big or small, like, not everyone has the same ability to purchase things.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. But I think the gift-giving one and the acts of service is quite similar then.
I prefer an act of service than gift-giving.
Okay, so...
I'm choosing the first one.
For me, I've taken this quiz before, and I think I got the gift-giving one as my answer. All words of affirmation, one of those. So I might go with gift-giving, but the thing is, the other day, 2 days ago, I was on the light rail, and I saw this couple, and the guy was just in a group with his friends, along with the girlfriend there, or I assume. And they were all just like laughing, having fun, talking, and he just casually like puts his arm around her waist, either as support, like balance, because the light rail was quite unstable. But anyway, I saw that and I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. That's like, yeah.
So I've seen that a lot, especially like around campus couples. But I think it's very cute. Like it's an image I would imagine myself, like a situation I would imagine myself to be in if I was with someone, but not necessarily something meaningful to me, if you know what I mean. Okay, so we recorded half an hour more than this, but for some reason my recording stopped on my end at like this point. So we're going back and redoing the questions from this point onwards. So if some things don't follow as well, that's why. Let's just say Kelly screwed up.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Okay, so what did we answer for this one again? It's more meaningful to you when you're around someone you love, even though you're not really doing anything, or you're more comfortable holding their hand to a high five or putting your arm around someone you love.
I think I answered the first one before and you answered the second one.
Yeah.
Well, my reasoning for the first one was like, I'm normally already pretty comfortable with like physical touch around people anyway. So I think the first one is more meaningful to me.
Yeah, and like I'm not really like that. I don't really get comfortable doing the whole physical touch thing. So if I can be, then I would go for that one. Yeah.
Okay, next question. It's more meaningful to you when you receive a gift from someone you love, or you hear from someone you love that they love you.
Okay. So this is gift giving and words of affirmation.
I say second. I hear from someone I love that they love me is more meaningful.
I'm gonna say
me.
the same thing. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. It's more meaningful to you when you get the chance to just hang out with someone you love, or you unexpectedly get small gifts from someone you love. This one's a bit harder.
Wait. My next question says, it's more meaningful to you when you get to sit close to someone you love, or you get complimented by someone you love for no apparent reason.
Oh, wait. I think I skipped one. Okay. let's go back. It's more meaningful to you when you sit close to someone you love or you're complimented by someone you love for no apparent reason. Complimented is more special. Like, sitting close with someone is a very normal thing to do, I think.
Yeah.
So
I sit close to people all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like,
on public transport, you can't really avoid it. Like, okay, corona right now, but honestly, people just sit wherever because it's so crowded sometimes.
Yeah, and also, like, I think it's not really meaningful anymore because you do it so often. Like, when you love someone, you end up just sitting close to them. Like, you're in the same car, you're going to the same place on public transport, in the same class or something.
I don't think it's even about, like, loving them. It's just a matter of we're just so used to, if you're with someone, then on public transport you should sit closer to them. Like, you shouldn't waste space because there's gonna be other people that need seats. So, like, it's just a very normal thing for us. So it doesn't have that extra meaning.
Yeah. And plus, I like being complimented for no apparent reason.
Okay. Next question, the one that I thought was the previous question. It's more meaningful to you when you get the chance to just hang out with someone you love, or you unexpectedly get small gifts from someone you love.
Okay, so I like getting gifts. And I love giving gifts too. And this is, you unexpectedly get it. And gift giving is kind of special and meaningful because, not gift giving.
It's not something that's, like, really should be expected of people in relationships, yeah. But I think I would value just, because I'm a very busy person, so I don't have that much time, like, even to hang out with my own friends. So I think I'd personally say, like, having the time to hang out with people and, like, the fact that someone made time to hang out with me is more meaningful.
Okay, I'm going to actually go...
I think it's just...
Yeah?
I'm putting myself in the other person's shoes when they're doing this for me.
I'm going to go with the hangout one. Actually, do I want to go with the hangout one?
I think you want to go with the small gifts. I think you're more on the small gifts end than hanging out.
Okay, true. I'm going to listen to you and say it's more meaningful to receive small gifts from someone you love. And especially the small gift thing because, like, small gifts...
It's not about size.
Actually means that you just thought about them. And you wanted to get that thing because it reminded you... Wait, what am I trying to say?
Or, like, it's like that object reminded that person of you.
Yeah.
Or, like, they remember that you wanted that, so they just got it.
Yeah. Whereas
because they saw it.
Big gifts are kind of like, oh, I kind of have to give this to you. And I know that's not true, but I'm thinking, like, in a birthday kind of situation, you know, like...
I feel weird when I give big gifts.
When you give or get?
Give. I haven't gotten, like, really, really big gifts, so I don't know, like, outside of family. Like, I feel like when it's family, it's more normal, but, like, when it's, like, just a friend, I feel like I've never gotten, like, a super big gift. I'm thinking, like, expensive stuff.
I think it's kind of like an unwritten rule in a way. Like,
it's also like if you do get a gift for someone, there's that little obligation to beat it the next year. Like, I'm talking about birthday wise. Like, it's like how am I gonna like kind of match up to that gift in a sense?
I can see that. I don't think like that.
Like,
but I can see
some people do think like that.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, and it's also, like, when you do give a big gift to someone else, they might start feeling obligated to give a big gift back to you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And that's not a good feeling. And that's why, when I got you AirPods, I had to find people to split it with.
Yeah.
Because I could have afforded to just give it to you, but I also felt like it was weird, and you might feel weird, so haha, I found friends.
You found friends. Yeah, like I was gonna mention how there's like an unwritten rule that for birthdays you kind of do spend a little extra because it's their birthday and it's a celebration. And yeah, so whereas small gifts, you're not really like in this question it says that you unexpectedly get it. That means that they just got it because
why not?
They just wanted to, not because they kind of had to. So I would go with the small gifts, and you would go for you get the chance to just hang out with someone that you love, right?
Yeah.
Okay, next question is it more meaningful to you when you hear someone tell you that they're proud of you, or someone you love helps you with a task?
I think before like I realized that we weren't recording on my end. I think I said helping me with a task. I think I explained this earlier. It's the same logic, like someone going out of their way to help me. I find that very meaningful, and like it's like we're probably both really busy, and the fact that they went out of their way to help me, or like even if they didn't have to go out of their way, it's like while they were doing something, they were like, oh, this Kelly also needed this, and I might as well help her and get it for her or something like that.
I think I would go for the I hear someone tell me that they're proud of me. So the reason I choose this is because I remember really, really, really wanting to get into commerce, right? And I did make it in. But before that, I wasn't sure that I was going to. And so when I did, it was like a really big moment for me.
It was a big deal and a big moment for you. Yeah.
And
it was a very happy moment for you, and you wanted to share your happiness with others,
and I kind of wanted, like, I wanted to share it, and I wanted other people to kind of
hype you up.
Yeah. And then I remember telling someone, and then they were like, oh yeah, that's cool, like, congratulations. And it wasn't really what I wanted, I guess.
It wasn't about like it not being insincere, it was just not the energy that you wanted.
Yeah, I know, but I think also it was just because that they didn't really care. Like that was what I kind of got off that.
I think that was my response to you.
Possibly.
Like I had a similar, I don't think you weren't talking about me, I know that, but I think that was basically my response to you telling me that you got in. Maybe partially because I'm already in commerce, and also like I don't know, I just don't match people's energies if I know them well enough.
But I also think that was kind of like when we first really started talking, because I think we only really started talking like middle of term 2, and I got in at the end of term 2, like beginning of term 3. So I don't think I really expected too much from you, and I don't think that I got to know you well enough for I didn't expect you to know how much I wanted to get in.
Yeah, all I knew was you wanted to get in, and you were putting way more effort into management than I was, when like it was literally a course for my degree, and for you at that point it was just an elective.
Yeah. And I also think that part of the reason is because I didn't feel your need. I didn't need your validation. Whereas I kind of wanted the other people's validation.
Yeah, because we were just like chatting. Do you think my texting style is very bad? Not very bad, just like bad.
I think it could be improved.
Like from the perspective of someone that doesn't know me.
Oh, yeah.
Like not like after you know me and like know that I just text like that when I really talk very energetically.
I would say I don't like using the word bad, so I'm gonna say it could be improved. Like the other day, it was in the econ
the
group chat, and basically there's this guy in our group chat who is kind
of toxic.
He's just like, he just says a lot of things that are kind of like, why would you say that on a public group chat, even if it's a joke? And yeah, so we created a separate...
It's just jokes that shouldn't be made in general.
I guess, yeah.
Like, I get it if you're doing it with, like, close friends that do understand what you meant.
Not on a public
But not
chat,
when you're in a group with, like, a few hundred strangers.
And so there was another group chat, like a econ study group chat that was being created, and the topic of him was brought up. And then I think you asked the question whether he should be kicked out of the original chat or not. Oh, no, someone else asked that.
Like, someone asked. The admin asked.
Yeah, and then you said something. And then you DM'd me saying, was that a bit too...
Let me find the message that I sent, and I'll read it.
Okay, sure.
It might take a while. We're gonna have to...
Anyway, I do think that your texting style is a bit bland.
Yeah, and I know it is, but I'm just...
Yeah, but also I think my expectations are way too high. Like, it's like I expect more than what the average person can give, because I honestly I text a lot, not so much anymore, especially right now. I'm going through my antisocial phase. I'm in my slightly more social phase. Our phases are in the opposite. I think when I was in my antisocial phase, you were in your social phase. Was I haven't felt like I've been in a really social oh, actually, yes. There was that thing I put on the love letters, which was like, needing friends, hit me up.
And yeah, and that point I was like so antisocial. I was just not up to talk to people and deal with people. So I found the message. So I said, because a lot of people in the chat also found him just funny. And I was like, yeah, it's funny, like, if you can take it that way. Like, I was like some of us are able to take it as a joke, but I think a lot of the people that are genuinely struggling and wanting to ask questions won't think the same way. And since this course is a foundation course, many people taking it may not be very strong in economics, while others have an entire degree based on economics. So we just got to think of the bigger group.
I definitely agree with that. I don't think that was the message. It was about kicking him out of the group.
No, it was this.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that...
Because when you read it, maybe it's the tone. Maybe it really is.
Yeah, it's the tone. It's literally my tone.
Oh yeah, I also deleted Messenger off my phone because I'm in my antisocial phase right now, so I can't check. But I swear there was another message about kicking him out of the group. Anyway, so after she sent that to the group chat, she texted me. Why am I referring to you as the third person? Anyway,
it was something along those lines.
So you texted me and you asked, is this a bit too direct or harsh? I think that's what you asked.
You said it was like, you a bit scary.
Yeah. So about like your texting style, I think that when you get to know who you are in person, then it doesn't really matter too much about how you text. But it's especially different when people don't know who you are, because then that it could come off as intimidating or scary. And I was trying to say before that I think I have expectations above average, because I'm so fine with just having like 3 different conversations within one conversation on one texting app and having a whole different conversation on a different texting app.
It's like literally 5 conversations at the exact same time sometimes with you.
And that to me is like normal. And I've noticed a lot of people don't like having different conversations running at the exact same time. And I get it, because they're like, oh, that means that I can't really concentrate on one. Like, I get it. So that's, but because I'm not like that, that's why I think that a lot of people don't reach my expectations. And also what I found really weird was that people don't like long paragraphs and texts.
What's wrong with that? Like, I found that people don't like the fact that I keep sending like really short texts, but like multiple of them.
Oh. No, I don't.
Because you know how I text, I like literally split sentences between messages.
I think I do that too. That's why I don't think it's a problem. Like the only thing I need really, if I'm texting someone, it's for them to be able to hold up the conversation. So when I say something, like give me a reply that I can reply with. And I'm pretty good with figuring out how to reply to people. But it's a lot of times like they just give me a one word, an emoji even, or the colon with a 0. I actually hate that so much.
And then there's me with the O.
The single letter O.
The lowercase O as well.
Yeah. So, like, I just, for me to text someone, I just need them to be able to hold up the conversation.
Yeah, you mentioned this to me earlier today, like, about, like, how you feel like you can't end conversations as well because of your tendency to just continue it. You're finding your ways to continue it. So, like, even though it's just small talk, you just keep going with it.
And I don't like it.
And it gets really boring, but you still keep going.
Yeah, because
I find that interesting because when that happens, I just stop replying.
And that's
I'm not
most
going to
people.
entertain other people like that. I'm just going to stop.
But I don't think I do it for the purpose of, like, entertaining them.
I think we've deviated a bit too much now.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's go back then. So
that one, someone I love helps me with a task. That's the one I chose.
I think mine was someone tell me that they're proud of me.
So next question is, it's more meaningful to you when you get to do things with someone you love or you hear supportive words from someone you love. I think for me, it's doing things with them because, like, what I imagine is just, like, really simple tasks, but, like, having them next to me.
Okay. I get to do things with someone I love. Okay.
Because supportive words for me is a bit too, like, specific scenario when I'm struggling or something, but doing things is a very general thing for me. So I think that's...
Okay, I'm going to go same one as you then.
Yeah.
It's more meaningful to you when someone you love does things for you instead of just talking about doing things, or you feel connected to them through a hug.
I remember what I said for this one. So, like, I said, I think sometimes I do think the hug is more meaningful, but it's very situational, depends on the situation. And, like, it's like, if it's the correct situation and, like, I needed the hug and they're just talking, I'd rather them do the nice thing, which is the hug. So I think the first one covers the second one in my perspective.
I'm pretty sure.
So I'd say
I'm pretty sure that's not how the quiz wants you to interpret it, but you can choose.
It's like I wouldn't just say generally I feel connected to someone I love through a hug, but I'd say like a hug in a very specific type of situation that would go under the first option.
Okay. I would also go...
So, like, the second one isn't a complete match. I think the first one is a bit...
I would go first option too, because the way that I interpret this is someone... Like, if you're comparing two different people, and one person says, yeah, like, I care about you, but then the other person says, like, they show that they care. And they can show it through words too, but if I actually feel that they actually care about me, that's when it's more meaningful, obviously. So I would pick someone does things for me instead of just talking about doing nice things.
Next question. It's more meaningful to you when you hear praise from someone you love, or someone you love gives you something that shows they were really thinking about you.
Do you get praised a lot?
No, I don't care about praises, honestly. Because my mentality is kind of like, a praise shouldn't be what validates me. Like, I should be happy enough with myself to not find that praise, like, not put that praise on, like, a pedestal and, like, love it and anything. I think I should personally see a praise as something that I can see in myself and be happy with it.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned that every time you do receive praise, it's always about your intelligence and your academics.
Yeah.
Yeah. And from
Yeah.
someone who used to do that to really smart people. Actually, I don't like using the word smart because I
Academically
inclined. Yeah. Because I genuinely think that you can be smart without having like top grades. I don't think.
Yeah, there's different types of like intelligence, and it's not limited to academics. It's just when people say the word intelligence, first thing you think of is academic intelligence.
Yeah. And
I think this was mentioned in our intro episode. Wow, what a way to connect the two.
Yeah. Yeah, and so from someone who used to do that a lot and praise other people for being really, really smart, I just don't really see it as, it's a bit like ingenuine actually, because I did it from a place of insecurity. Like I wasn't happy with my own self, so that's why I praised other people so much. So it wasn't really because I just valued them for them. It was because they had something that I was lacking. So yeah, I'd go for someone I love gives me something that shows that they were really thinking about me.
At the same time, it's like praises, it's like, this is just me basing it on my own experiences so far. And it's like, I want to be praised on something that maybe I went out of my way to do, or like I put extra effort in, rather than just something that I find as normal. Like, this might sound very like weird to others, or like very, just people might take this very negatively, but I just don't value my intelligence enough for me to say that when someone praises me for my intelligence, I'm gonna be super happy, because it's just a quality about me that exists.
No, I get that though, because and that's what I meant by like they praise you because they lack it within themselves, right? But if they had it within themselves, and then they would also find it normal too. They wouldn't feel the need to praise you about it. But I guess in this question, it's like praise doesn't mean putting someone else on a pedestal. It just means like appreciating that they have this quality. You know, like I could, let's say like, do you know who Simone Biles is? The gymnast? Okay,
No.
so...
Oh,
so let's just say an Olympian. Is that a word?
Olympian.
Olympian gymnast. If they were to just walk into a regular like gymnasium and saw someone do a cartwheel on the beam, and that was the first time that they ever did it, they could still praise them for it, right? Despite. Yeah, so I think in this question, that's the kind of question or scenario that they want you to picture.
I think it's just a matter of how I interpret these options as well, like, and how I have experienced these situations in my own life. And that's how I'm basing my answers. I mean, like, my love language is bound to change over time.
Yeah, especially when we both get partners. Let's move on, though, to this next question.
The next question. It's more meaningful to you when someone you love reacts positively to something you've accomplished, or someone you love does something for you that you know they don't particularly enjoy. I think this one was a very easy one for me, because it's like, if I've accomplished something, I would interpret that as me doing something that I found very hard, and I'm very proud of myself afterwards. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think, to me, someone reacting positively or negatively to that has any meaning to me, because I would prioritize how I feel about what I accomplished. But the second option, like the fact that someone went out of their way, that's a lot more special.
Okay, I'd agree with you too. You have a really mature way of thinking. This is so good. You also did skip a question though, which is, it's more meaningful to you when you're just around someone you love, or you get to have a back rub with someone you love. And I think that's
Obviously
pretty
the
easy
first
for
one.
both of us.
That one's
just because
first one.
when I think back rub, I'm like, I get uneasy about it.
It's weird.
Yeah. Okay. It's more meaningful to you when you're in close proximity to someone you love, or you sense something with I can't
Someone
read.
you love showing interest in the things you care about. This one was also an easy one for me. I think the next few are going to be easy ones.
Second,
obviously. I feel like it's more special. It's just some things are more special than others in my own perspective, and that's kind of how I'm choosing these.
yes. Except I at the same time, I also think I get uncomfortable when this happens to me. Like if someone, I'm imagining myself in a tuning phase, because I know I've done it to other people, which is why I think I'd get uncomfortable if other people did it to me. Because when I did it to other people, I was like way too involved. Like everything that they did, I was like, oh, I need to research what this is. Like I was the biggest simp. Okay, I mean, not was, I am. So
You're just not simping for anyone right now.
I'm not. Yeah. So, and I kind of do it subconsciously. I don't force myself to do it either. Like I actually
You just do it.
Yeah, and I think it's partly because I just like learning a lot of things. So,
Because in that situation, I would just let it be and like have them explain everything to me instead of researching it on my own.
okay. Yeah. Oh, that's cool too.
Next question. Please let me know if I'm skipping questions
Yeah.
because I don't realize. It's more meaningful to you when someone you love works on special projects with you that you have to complete, or someone you love gives you an exciting gift.
I'm going to go with the
think the
first
first
one.
one.
Yeah, first one.
The first one's slightly more. Same reasoning that I went through before as well. Next question. It's more meaningful to you when you're complimented by someone you love on your appearance, or someone you love takes the time to listen to you and really understand your feelings. Second one.
Second, and this also goes back to the question you asked at the beginning, which was about how I feel comforted when I'm sad. And I said that when friends just listen to me and try to understand my feelings. And a lot of times it's not even, like, they don't even need to really do anything. They don't need to
It's like
find
not
solutions.
about them fixing the problem.
Yeah.
It's more like
just
their
listening and
existence.
understanding. Yeah. Okay. It's more meaningful to you when you can share meaningful touch with someone in public, or someone you love runs errands for you.
Second one, but I said this in the original recording that didn't record, but I think I interpreted it. I would prefer if it said like run errands with me than for me. But I kind of see the reasoning, and I kind of see how I would value that more than sharing a meaningful touch in public.
Yeah, I'm going to go with running errands too, because the way that I imagine this scenario, and with all these questions that they're asking, I am picturing some kind of scenario in my head. So they're saying running errands, so I imagine I'm living in the same place as my significant other, and I'm really tired, got home from work, and I'm like, oh no, I forgot to buy this thing. And they're like, it's okay, you're tired, let me do it for you. So that's how I see it. So I'm going to go with running errands too.
Yes. It's more meaningful to you when someone you love doesn't check their phone while you're talking with each other, or someone you love goes out of their way to do something that relieves pressure on you. Did I skip one?
Yeah.
Not again.
It's more meaningful to you when someone you love does something special to help you out, or you get a gift from someone you love, and they put thought into choosing that gift.
Oh, this one's like the first one again. I think this is the same reasoning as like some of the questions from before.
I feel like I'm changing my answers a bit. So you would go with...
It depends on what situation you imagine when you read the question, though. It's not really changing your answer.
Someone you love does something special to help you out. I'm going to actually go with the gift-giving one. I feel like I'm big on gift-giving. Or at least it's more the thoughts that go behind gift-giving because, you know, like I don't think it's expected to receive a gift. So it's kind of special. And the fact that they saw something and thought, wow, this reminds me of her. So I'm going to go gift giving. And you're going to go with someone you love does something special to help you out?
Yeah.
Okay,
next question, the one that I read before. It's more meaningful to me when someone you love doesn't check their phone while you're talking with each other, or someone you love goes out of their way to do something that relieves pressure on you. I feel like checking phone has become very normal. Like, if you have a notification, it's a given that you might like take a look, see if it's urgent. If it's urgent, deal with it. If it's not, then like leave it. I'm not going to be offended. That's kind of how I interpreted checking their phone.
Yeah, I'm not going to be offended if I'm out with someone and they just check their phone. But I will be if they're on like social media and they're doing something just
that they don't have to do in the moment.
Yeah. And I don't know how to bring it up to people because I have a few friends who do that.
It's a very awkward thing.
Yeah. And I think I don't do it that often because for most of the time that I've owned a phone, I didn't have credit and I didn't have data either. I only bought my first plan last year. So I just got used to not really using it and just listening to music whenever I was out. So I don't really feel the need to like be on my phone, use it as a distraction when I'm out. So, but like I understand when people do that. I just don't like the use of social media when I'm with them. So both of us are going to pick someone I love goes out of their way to do something that relieves pressure.
Yeah. And next question, it's more meaningful to you when you can look forward to a holiday because you'll probably receive a gift from someone you love, or you hear the words "I appreciate you" from someone you love. I think this one's the second one for me.
Yes.
Because like holidays, I think just traditionally holidays I haven't celebrated. So whether or not I get a gift doesn't matter to me. But like I appreciate you is very different.
Yeah. So I'm going to go I appreciate you too because I think it's kind of a problem when you're looking forward to a holiday just because you expect a present from someone.
Yeah, that's a bit I don't know.
Yeah.
Next question.
It's more meaningful to you when someone you love and you haven't seen them for a while thinks about you and gets you a gift, or someone you love takes care of something that you're responsible to do but you feel too stressed at the time.
This one, I'd say the second one, just because the first one isn't a situation that I can relate to, and or like a situation that I can imagine like leaving a huge impression on me.
See, I actually don't know what to pick for this one because for the first one, the gift-giving one, it's I think it would be special and meaningful for me because it's someone I haven't seen in a while, which means that they definitely, the only reason that they bought it for me was because they actually wanted to and they thought about me, and the fact that I still remained like in their mind even though I haven't seen them for a while is meaningful. But then for the second one, it says that they did something for me because I was too stressed at the time, which I mean, we've mentioned this a few times, I think, in previous episodes. But I have a terrible stress management system. Yeah. So I'm going to go with the second one. Someone I love takes care of something for me because I'm too stressed to do it.
I think we need to speed this up a little. So I think from now on, honestly, I think the justifications for our choices have already been given. And it's just a repetition of it. So let's speed run. So it's more meaningful to you when someone you love doesn't interrupt you while you're talking, or gift giving is an important part of the relationship with someone you love.
Interrupt because, sorry, justification. But I don't think that you should be. I don't think it's a good relationship when you have
I'm interrupting.
When you have
I'm interrupting.
What? I don't. It's not. Okay, stop. I just don't think that gift giving should be an important part of the relationship. It can be a meaningful part. Wait.
But not important.
Yeah. If you know the difference.
And at the same time, like, I know that I tend to interrupt people. Or, like, don't take the moment just then as an example. That was just a joke. But, it's like I just don't know when to cut in. But I interpreted interrupting as in, like, in the middle of you talking, they change the subject randomly and never go back. Like, so, like, it kind of shows that they weren't even paying attention to you. So, like, I see that some people do interrupt and then they go back to the original topic. Maybe because, like, they just had a little, like, branch in their thoughts.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Next question.
It's more meaningful to you when someone you love helps you out when they know that you're really tired, or someone you love and you get to spend time with them. What? You get to go somewhere you get to go somewhere while spending time with someone you love. Yeah.
I think I'd choose the second one, mostly because I think the first one should be not really a given, but, like, it should be normal to help each other out.
Yes. And also I think it says you get to go somewhere, and when I read it, I imagine it like a day trip kind of thing, so that's kind of special.
It's a special moment that doesn't happen a lot, so I'd say that is slightly more meaningful.
Okay. It's more meaningful to you when someone you love touches your arm or shoulder to show their concern, or someone you love gives you a little gift that they picked up during their regular day.
Second one for me, which might be a bit weird, but it's mostly because I think it's like they just randomly saw a thing and it reminded them of me, rather than, like, maybe it was just seeing my favorite snack or something and buying it for me. Because I don't think the first one matters to me too much.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the second one too, for the same reason as you.
Okay, it's more meaningful to you when someone you love says something encouraging to you, or you get to spend time in a shared activity or hobby with someone you love. I think the second one. Maybe because I just don't see myself having enough time to do that often. So I would think it's more special.
The thing is, I feel like this is kind of... Like, I get the whole five love language things, and I feel like a lot of my answers are going to come out as, like... Like, I do think it's more meaningful to get to spend time with someone, but I think realistically, I don't want to, like, always spend too much time with them.
Yeah.
As in, like, okay, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so you would pick the activity one. I would pick, but I'm gonna pick the same one as you. Activity.
Next question. It's more meaningful to you when someone you love surprises you with a small token of their appreciation, or you're touching someone you love frequently to express your friendship. I think it's the first one. The second one doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Because touching, again, not something that I need.
Okay, it's more meaningful to you when someone you love helps you out, especially if you know they're already busy, or you hear someone you love tell me that they appreciate you. I'd say the first
one. And you know,
because
sorry.
It's kind of like a sacrifice, like they're sacrificing their own time to help you.
Yeah, and I think that I only really actually appreciate like words of affirmation. No, not words of like when someone says that they appreciate me, I only really take that into heart when I don't really hear it too often from them. And so like if someone doesn't really give that to me that often, and then they say, yeah, like, I appreciate you, that's when I actually really care. When I find it really meaningful. But if it happens all the time, then it's just going to become like, I feel like it's just going to become words. Whereas
it's a very situation specific thing.
Yeah. So I think like the same thing as you, if they're sacrificing something for me, like their time, that's going to be meaningful. Also, we're almost at the end of the quiz. So
let's speed through this and get our results.
Yeah.
So it's more meaningful to you when you get a hug from someone who you haven't seen in a while, or you hear someone you love tell you how much you mean to him or her.
The words. When I hear someone tell me how much I mean to him or her.
I think I'd say the hug. Because I'm imagining a specific friend that I haven't seen in a while, and I think I would want a hug from her. And that was the last question, I think.
Yeah, okay. So let's go through this.
Laura, would you like to share first?
Yeah, so you got acts of service with 37%, 10% physical touch, 10% receiving gifts, 10% words of affirmation, and 33% quality time.
We got the same results.
Wait, what? The exact same?
Yes, although we had different.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I would have thought I was
37, 10, 10, 10, and 33.
Okay. That's so surprising. I thought I would have been a bit higher on the receiving gifts part. Because just from our answers, it just seems like
you chose receiving gifts more than me.
Yeah.
But we got equal.
And words of affirmation only 10% for me. I feel like I value that quite a bit.
I feel like you chose that more than me as well.
Yeah. Okay then.
Oh well, I guess we share very similar opinions. We share the same love language.
So acts of service.
Yes.
Wait, I clicked out of it. Can you read it?
So your primary love language is acts of service. Can helping with homework really be an expression of love? Absolutely. Anything you do to ease the burden of responsibilities weighing on an act of service person will speak volumes. The words he or she most wants to hear, let me do that for you.
Yeah.
Laziness, broken commitments, and making more work for them tell speakers of this language their feelings don't matter. When others serve you out of love and not obligation, you feel truly valued and loved. I mean, that's pretty accurate for me right now.
So before you took this quiz, would you say that you would have assigned these percentages to these 5 love languages?
I thought physical touch would have been higher.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm personally more...
I feel like I didn't even choose physical touch. I think I chose it for one thing.
Yeah, I think I barely chose it because every time physical touch came up, it came up with either quality time or acts of service, which I do value a lot more.
I feel like if I was to do it, I mean, I did it, but if I was to actually assign the percentages, I would have gone with maybe acts of service and then words of affirmation and then quality time as third. receiving gifts fourth, and then physical touches last. This is interesting.
I mean, that was an interesting exercise, and with that, now that the recording's at an hour and 11 minutes, I think we should be wrapping up.
Yeah.
So I think that was an indication to anyone who wanted to take any hints. If there are any of you out there, which there probably aren't, because there's no one in my life right now, and I don't think Flora has any boys.
Who said it's just the boys?
So,
huh? What?
Huh? Am I meant to be taking tips from this?
Yes. Anyway, so thank you everyone for listening to this week's episode. Sorry that things got a bit messy in the middle, and it might have seemed a bit confusing to follow through, but hopefully it was easy enough. And if you enjoy these kind of videos, we do have more planned for the future. If you have any ideas and suggestions, please let us know through Instagram or the comment section,
or emails.
Yeah, let us know by liking the YouTube video if you are watching through YouTube, and rate us on
rating
Apple
our
podcast.
Yeah. And just following us so you stay updated with all our releases, which are at Sunday 1 p.m. Sydney time.
Yeah. So once again, thank you so much for watching and listening, and we'll see you next week on Sunday. Thank you. Bye.
See ya.